How have plug-in hybrid sales fared in China? What were the best-selling EV models in Europe? Is it too early to celebrate EU registrations growth? And what's next for JLR following its cyber attack? This is the Automotive Update, presented by Autovista24. I'm Phil Curry, Autovista24 Special Content Editor, here with another look over the latest automotive stories across the last 7 days. This week, we've covered the Chinese and European EV markets on Autovista24.com. In this episode, we also cover the latest on the JLR cyber attack and look at the world's fastest production car. We start with China, which in July saw its plug-in hybrid or PHEV market suffer its worst year-on-year result since June 2020. The latest data provided by EV Volumes shows the powertrain saw sales grow by just 3.2% compared to July 2024. This was the worst result since a 51.4% decline during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic. In terms of volume growth only, July's result is the lowest improvement since March 2017, when year-on-year figures rose 1.1%, and is the second lowest rise since EV Volumes began tracking annual comparisons in January 2014. For the first time this year, the BYD CL06 topped the monthly PHEV chart, having slowly climbed the table this year and overtaking some of its stablemates. In second place was the Ato M8. The BYD Quin Plus, which topped the market in June, dropped to third in July. The model lost volume year-on-year across the first 7 months of 2025, but still remains popular. Meanwhile, the country's battery electric vehicle or BEV sector recorded an improvement compared to July 2024, with an increase of 34.5%. The Geely GM Xing remained the standout performer in July, topping the chart once again by a considerable margin over the second-place Tesla Model Y. This has allowed the model to stretch its lead in the annual chart, putting it firmly on course to be China's best-selling BEV this year. Third place in the month went to the Wuling Mini. In contrast, Europe's PHEV market recorded its biggest monthly growth since June 2021, according to EV Volumes. Totals soared by 53.5% year-on-year in July. The performance continued a run of double-digit PHEV improvements that began in March following 2 monthly declines at the start of the year. BEVs continued their consistent improvement with double-digit increases every month so far in 2025. Compared to 12 months prior, all-electric vehicle deliveries rose by 33% in July. The Skoda Elroq led Europe's BEV market for the second time this year. The model only began deliveries in November 2024. Skoda locked out the top 2 positions with the Enyaq in second. Another Volkswagen Group model rounded out the top 3, with the VW ID.3 nearly doubling its total from July 2024. In the PHEV market, Volkswagen also led the way, with the Tiguan topping the chart in July for the second consecutive month. Second was the BYD Seal U. Following this was the Volvo XC60, although its year-on-year volume declined in the month. You can find more information on EV performance in both China and Europe on the Autovista24 website. Just head to Autovista24.com, and while you are there, you can sign up to the free daily email. This brings the latest automotive analysis and insight direct to your email inbox, ensuring you don't miss out on the big talking points. Also check out Autovista24's YouTube channel. There you'll find out what is Explainer videos, launch report series, and webinar recordings. And of course, subscribe to the Autovista24 podcast wherever you listen to us. The European Automobile Manufacturers Association, ACEA, published its latest registrations results this week, looking back at the EU market's performance in August. Joining me to discuss the results is Autovista24 web editor James Roberts. Hi James.
Hi Phil, great to join you.
Now, ACEA numbers are fascinating, providing a monthly breakdown of all powertrains across all 27 EU member states. So with that in mind, James, what did you see in the ACEA numbers for August?
Well, Phil, on the face of it, August brought good news. 677,785 new cars were registered across the EU. That's a 5.3% year-on-year rise. And more importantly, it marks the second consecutive month of growth in the region. Battery electric vehicles, or BEVs, were a major contributor. 120,797 units reached customers in August. That's a 30.2% increase, pushing the market share to 17.8% for the month. Now, on a year-to-date basis, so that's spanning January to August, BEVs are up nearly 24.8% compared with the first 8 months of 2024. This is to the tune of well over a million delivered across the block. Now, plug-in hybrids, PHEVs, also had a strong month with a 54.5% increase, giving them 10.4% share of the market in August. So on the face of it, there's some good, strong numbers there.
It does seem there's plenty to be happy about, but is that really the case?
Well, yes and no. Despite these positive monthly numbers, the full picture is more nuanced. Across the first 8 months of 2025, EU new car registrations are actually down 0.1% year on year. So while August delivered momentum, it may not yet signal a full market recovery.
And outside the bigger markets of France, Germany, Italy, and Spain, which we've already covered in depth in our dedicated registration pieces on autovista24.com, was there any other standout performances in the EU numbers?
So yeah, moving away from the larger markets, Poland stood out. BEV registrations soared by 237.7% in August, which has been boosted by the Nash Auto subsidy scheme, which is complete with scrappage, bonuses, and tax exemptions. Bulgaria also showed strong percentage growth, albeit from a smaller base, with BEV uptake rising 124.1% year on year for the month. Notably, Austria enjoyed a strong month with 21,452 new cars registered in the country. This equated to a 25.3% increase, helping shore up a 10.7% gain in the year to date. On the flip side, Belgium's new car market struggled in August. PHEVs took the biggest hit, with demand for this powertrain sliding more than 22%. BEVs also dipped down about 9% year on year.
So, looking at the whole picture, is it too early to celebrate?
Possibly. August rebound gives hope, especially for electrified vehicles, with the increase in market share. But the flat first 8 month tally really tempers optimism. The real test across the final 4 months of the year is consistency, but geopolitical risks, policy shifts within the EU, supply constraints, cost pressures, a myriad of reasons could easily stall the momentum. It's a fragile picture.
Thanks, James. And you can read the full article breaking down the ASEA figures over on autovista24.com. I'll leave a link in the show notes. Following a cyber attack at the beginning of September, car manufacturer JLR has stated it will continue its pause on production until at least the 1st of October, according to Autocar. The attack forced the carmaker to shut down its internal computer systems, resulting in production at all of its global plants coming to a halt. This has also created issues with parts ordering, impacting suppliers and retailers. According to the BBC, the stoppage is reportedly costing JLR around £50 million or €57.2 million each week. However, the consequences on smaller suppliers could be worse. Should these companies have to close due to the loss of earnings, it will make a restart at JLR much more difficult, Professor David Bailey, a professor of business economics at the University of Birmingham, told the BBC. About 30,000 people are directly employed at the company's plants, with about 100,000 working for firms in the supply chain. Some of these firms supply parts exclusively to JLR, while others sell components to other car makers as well. UK government ministers are now considering stepping in to support these suppliers, the BBC highlighted. One idea supposedly being explored is the government buying the component parts the suppliers build. However, these companies have told the BBC they are sceptical about the success of such a scheme. The idea behind such a move be to keep the companies in JLR's supply chain in business until production lines are up and running again. Yangwang, the luxury sub-brand of BYD, has set a new global production car top speed record of 496.2 km per hour or 308.4 miles per hour. The feat was achieved with Yangwang's latest U9 Extreme hypercar, eclipsing the previous EV benchmark and the 490.5 km per hour maximum of the quickest petrol-powered model, becoming the world's fastest car overall, the manufacturers reported. The driver for the UX9's record-breaking run was Mark Basseng, a German track specialist. He said, "This record was only possible because the U9 Extreme simply has incredible performance. Technically, something like this is not possible with a combustion engine." Thanks to AutoVista24 web editor James Roberts for appearing in and co-editing this episode. Additional thanks go to AutoVista24 journalist Tom Hooker. The music was Better Find a Solution Fast by Richard Ames. That's all for the automotive update from AutoVista24 this week, but be sure to subscribe to the podcast to catch further episodes.